We are back, my man, to Mind Your Business podcast. We're here again.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Dude, this is like our, I don't know, 4th, 5th, 6th, 100th episode. I don't know.
Yeah,
I've lost count.
Yeah, it's so hard to keep up with them. There's so
I mean, we've done so many.
hundreds of guests we've had. It's just,
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds.
100 billion guests.
Yes. Wow. We've already made it that far?
we're bigger than McDonald's.
Serving all kind of hamburgers left and right. So it's good to be back. It's good to see you, man. I love the hat that you have on.
Well, thank you.
Yellowstone representing.
Dutton Ranch.
You like it? Did you like that show?
Yeah, I'm a big Yellowstone fan.
Did you? Alan, did you like that show?
I just figured he found the hat at Goodwill or something. I mean, what do you think? He's wearing the hat.
I actually bought it online.
Hey, listen, sometimes people just wear hats because they like the hat, not because of the particular team or show or anything like that. They just wear the hat.
I watched the first season with my wife, and then after that, I was just like, this is too much of a soap opera. And
It
I was
is
out.
a soap opera.
Can I be honest with you?
No.
Okay.
You
Well-
must lie.
Okay, well, here's the lie. I've watched every episode of Yellowstone.
I have too. I haven't even bought the DVD set.
Okay, see, I was lying. I've not seen one episode of Yellowstone.
What's wrong? You gotta watch it.
I haven't.
I've even watched 1923, 1883. I mean,
So you watched all the spinoffs too?
Yes, and bought all the DVDs for every one of them.
Really?
Yes,
He is their core customer.
I am their core customer.
I'm trying to figure out who buys DVDs today still when you have all the streaming stuff right there at
Kevin
your
Costner
fingertips.
went out to eat steak because of Bart's money.
I don't know.
He did. He ate his steak because of Bart's money.
That's right.
Well, this will probably be the last season of Yellowstone.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of stuff going on in his life.
Yep.
So, anyway, I got another story to tell you. But first, we need to get to our scary movie. Alan, why are you talking about my stories,
I'm going to
man?
go ahead and get my hand on the bleep button.
Yeah, do this. Okay, seriously, September 25th, Bart. All right. September 25th, there was this guy who brings his emotional support animal to a baseball game.
Okay.
All right. So
Talking about like a CNI dog.
yeah, something like that, right? So you hear that and you're thinking, okay, no big deal. People do that all the time now. I see them all the time in the grocery store, Walmart, or somewhere like that. No big deal. The dog's walking around, whatever support that the dog's there for, or the
Right.
cat, right?
Right.
I seen a cat the other day. That one kind of took me off guard. Like I wasn't expecting to see a cat there, but you know, it was there. This guy though thought it was a good idea that he brought his emotional support alligator. Alligator.
How big was this emotional support alligator?
You ready?
Yeah.
This guy was 5 feet long.
5 foot long. What did
Yes.
they buy a seat for him?
Yes, he bought a seat for the alligator. He bought 2 tickets to come to the Phillies game to watch the game with a support alligator named Wally.
Wally.
I don't know why would you name an alligator Wally?
Well, after...
Like
Wait,
Coyote?
Wally or Wiley? Like Lake Wiley or Wally World?
Like Wally World.
Oh, Wally. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying Wiley.
No, Wally.
Wally.
Sorry, that's that country accent that I got going on there, man.
Is he a Florida Gators fan and he's going to take them to the swamp too?
That's where you should have taken him.
Yeah.
He probably would have been welcoming arms in there. Like, come on in, buddy.
Yeah, they would
Am I
have
the
hugged
only
him.
one that just called that he just said tooken?
Took him.
Oh, took him.
Took
Oh,
him.
yeah, took him. Tooken.
Alan, again, that's why you don't have a camera. You just got the mic.
I don't deserve a camera.
You don't.
I'm not worthy.
I'm just kidding, man. So last time we were on, Bart, we talked about scary movies.
Yes, we did.
We talked about Halloween, and we're still in the month of Halloween. And we put up a poll about scary movies and, you know, what people thought what their scary movies were and, like, their favorite scary movies or what they thought the scariest movie of all time were. Some of the things that came up on the poll that when I did my list, like some of the things that people talked about and said on the poll, I want to redo my list. Because I think the scarier movies are the ones that can really take place.
Yes.
Right? So, like, there's this movie out. Alan, have you seen this movie? It's called The Strangers.
It sounds familiar, but no, I don't think so.
Yeah, so that movie is freaky because it could happen. It's like this movie that's just people tormenting these other people while they're in their house. It's crazy. So another thing that came out was Scream. We forgot about Scream.
Yeah.
Right? We forgot about I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
That's a pretty classic movie right there. What?
Not really. That it doesn't belong in the conversation of the top 5 or 10.
Well, that's your list.
That's right.
This is other people's list. These are other people's list, man. Why are you
Get
hating
out of here with your list.
Well, I know, like you're hating on our, we're not going to have any more viewers because of you hating on our list.
But you and I were the only ones who agreed on Hereditary.
That is true. That is true. I didn't see Hereditary out there that much. The Shining was still on there, so we talked about The Shining.
Yes.
So that was on there a pretty good bit. The Exorcist was on there a pretty good bit. The Halloweens were on there a pretty good bit too. So there was this one house, though, this one movie I watched one time, and you can go ahead and get the spoiler alert for people ready, Alan. I'm going to give them 3 seconds. Here's your 3 seconds.
2, 1, go.
All right. So spoiler alert with this movie. It's called Open House. All right. So the crazy thing about this movie is it's like this guy just comes into these open houses and then he stays there, and whoever buys the house, he stalks them and whatever. Well, at the end of every movie, typically the bad guy gets caught or he, it gets killed. He's the one that, they take care of, right? Not in this movie. He kills everybody and gets away with it.
Wow.
It's like the worst movie ending ever.
Absolute excellence.
No, it's not.
Yeah, sometimes the dragon wins.
I just don't know how you can improve on such a story. It tells the story and it's gone.
It's gone. It's over. But anyway, so our guest tonight, Bart.
Speaking of movies and TV.
An advertisement. You like that segue?
Yes.
Would you like to introduce our special guest that we have to get her in this conversation before we start talking about what she does and who she is?
Well, her name is Dianna Hughes.
Dianna Hughes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they call me.
Because that's her name. Right?
There she is. Hello, Dianna.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very excited to be here. This is my first time appearing on a podcast.
Really?
Yeah, I said earlier, I'm usually the one who's behind the camera, behind the scenes. So it's interesting to be here, see my face on screen, all the lights. I get why it makes people nervous now.
Yeah. When the lights come
Starting
on.
to understand.
Yeah, it gets bright. You're like starting to sweat. All that stuff,
This is very legit, guys.
I know. We try to do it professional here. It's because of our great sponsors.
It all comes out of Justin's paycheck.
Yep.
So
yeah, that's why I don't have
Thank you so much for funding this venture.
Yeah.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. So we're going to get into what you do, who you are as a person, all the good and great things about you, right? Because I don't think there's any bad thing about her, right?
We'll ask.
I don't know, Bart. What do you think?
Bart, you've known her longer than I
won't
have.
talk about
We'll
the
find
bad.
out
We're
in
just going to talk
rapid
about the good on the podcast.
So we're gonna get some questions. We got some questions for you. We're gonna get some college picks, football picks from you.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Are you excited about that? We're gonna talk about your alma mater.
You can say the excitement.
Totally.
Yeah, absolutely. Love it.
We're gonna talk about your alma mater, App State. So we'll
All
get
right,
there.
cool.
Yeah. So we're gonna do all of that and more with Dianna once we get back. Please stay with us. We'll be right back with more with Dianna.
They're everywhere. Your yard, your kitchen, your bedroom. Invading your home and property, spreading disease, and destroying everything in their path. If you don't act, they'll multiply, crawling ever closer to you and your family. The only thing they fear is the web. Nelon-Cole Termite and Pest Control. Call today for their new service special and save $25. Bugs, beware of the web.
We're back.
We are back, Bart, and we are here with the lovely Dianna and what she does, and we're going to get into what she does and who she is and all that good stuff, Bart. So I'll let you start with the questions, and we'll just let the conversation take it where it goes.
Well, I'll give you guys a little bit of insight about her. She is the reason that we have all these TV ads, all these commercials, the one like the one you just saw. It's because of Dianna.
That's what she does.
Yes, it is. So, Dianna, tell us a little bit about yourself, your job, and actually what you do.
So I work in advertising and marketing. I work with a company called Spectrum Reach. And basically, my goal in anything that I do is just to connect a brand and a business with their target audience. And with the company that I'm currently with, we like to say that we are more of a data company than a media company because we're looking at all of this data that's collected. And in at least the Spectrum market, across the nation, we're in 8 out of every 10 homes, whether it's their TV or their internet, their cable, phone even, whatever it may be. So we have data on all these homes, and it's super valuable for advertisers because it helps us put your message in front of the right people. So an example that I'll use just in Bart's case for Nelon-Cole, it makes no sense to be advertising to renters. You only need to be in front of homeowners. So that's a layer that goes into this campaign, and our targeting capabilities and making sure that the right people are seeing those ads and that they're not being seen really by people who are irrelevant to the business and who aren't going to do business with you. But I love working with brands. I really love working with local businesses and helping build a brand from the ground up and transform their business. That's something that's really exciting to me, that I've been doing really since the start of my career.
Yeah.
So to collect all this data, you're basically spying on people is what you're telling us.
I wouldn't say spying.
Spying,
No.
definitely
Spyware.
An interesting way of looking at like the whole spying thing in advertising. If you ask the right questions, y'all will really get me talking because I find this kind of stuff so interesting. But you guys have probably heard of cookies. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Cookies,
If I say
yes.
cookies?
Yeah,
Except
like chocolate
cookies.
chip cookies. Sugar
Unfortunately,
Oatmeal
not
raisin.
the good kind.
Oatmeal raisin is a very good cookie, actually.
It's a healthy cookie, actually.
I'm more of a chocolate chip.
I'm all
fan
about
myself.
cookies.
I don't blame you. Chocolate chip, that's the
classic.
It is a classic.
But, okay, so when you go on some business's website and before you can explore their website, you have to check yes or
Do you
no, do
accept
I accept
cookies?
these
Accept,
cookies?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So cookies, I mean, it's not spyware either, but cookies do kind of track what you do online. It's like leaving a little breadcrumb wherever you go on a website. And unless you're like regularly clearing your cache, they stay on your phone for up to 30 days, usually is kind of the general practice. But cookies are going to be phased out soon. Google has been saying it we'll see when they eventually get rid of it, but it is happening that way.
So what are they going to replace with cookies?
That's the thing. Everybody is becoming more and more aware of their privacy, and they don't want to feel like they're being spied on.
Right.
So that's really the beauty of what we do and the type of advertising that I work in is that it's all based on first-party data, and we pair it with our data partners. So you're not having to rely on those cookies or like kind of like the creepy, if you will.
So that's
form of
why when I'm on
advertising.
Amazon searching for Yellowstone hats for the next 30 days, in my email there's a pop-up advertisement about buy Yellowstone hat here.
Yes. Yeah. So your activity is always being tracked online. I mean, everybody knows that at this point. Like nothing that you do on your phone is truly
A secret.
completely a secret. Like,
Yeah.
And everybody is in the business of data now too. I could keep going on about this forever, but even just like Target, something that you don't realize. Like every time I go to Target, for example, I type in my phone number when I'm making a purchase because, I want my Target rewards.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Target has a whole profile on who I am. They know the kind of stuff that I like. They know that what kind of coffee maker I have. They know that I'm a person who is business oriented. I'm always in there buying a planner. They know that I care about health and beauty because of the types of products that I buy. They keep a profile. And so many businesses now are
Makes sense.
they're in the business of data collection and, how you can use that data, how you can sell it. And a lot of it comes back to advertising, which I find super interesting. Like I said, if y'all get me going, I can talk about this for a long time.
So did you go, was that your major, advertising, marketing, or what did you major in?
So I went to App State. Rolling years. I went to App State and I double majored in journalism and public relations.
I went to Garden Web.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah. So we're like
just
rivals
literally
right now.
right up the road.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you're in Bulldog country now.
It's
sorry.
true. I am. I really do like coming up here though, because it does make me start to feel like I'm in the mountains again, even though Shelby isn't quite the mountains, but it feels
Not quite,
pretty
but
dang
you're close. Like, yeah, you are. You're very
Yeah.
close. So you're in the advertising business of Spectrum. So you're telling me that you can't help me get Spectrum at my house.
No.
Can we
so
get a discount?
that is kind of a fun conversation that I have with way more people than I would like to, but I do not have anything to do with selling a cable box or selling a phone service.
That's terrible.
I work strictly on the fun side, and I get to help people with their marketing efforts and advertising.
Nice.
So, did you tell me you recently got engaged?
I did not. I did
Wow.
not.
Oh, you haven't got
Whoa.
engaged.
Whoa.
Oh, well.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, that's
Everybody
good.
on the
No.
podcast is
That's
freaking out
good.
right now. Who's watching this? So,
Bart.
Okay.
I mean, what?
Well,
Where did you get
know,
your information from?
I don't know. Maybe the cookies were
cookies
malfunctioning
got you,
today.
man.
Because, I mean, before marriage, man is incomplete. And after marriage, he's finished.
What? Where is this going?
Much to think about.
And, there's this food now
It's feel
out.
like Bart's about to give a sermon.
There's
He is. He's about to.
there is
Where are
this
we going with
food
this?
now that if you eat it, it decreases your love life by 90%.
It's going
It's
off
a wedding
the
cake.
rails. It's a wedding cake.
So,
What is it?
wedding cake.
Wedding cake.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm married, and marriage is not a bad thing. There's a lot more arguments now than I used to have when we were just dating. Like
man.
just the other day, I told my wife, we were both getting ready. I said, "Honey," I said, "your underwear is way too tight and way too revealing."
Wow.
She said, "Well, maybe you should wear yours."
Oh,
So I mean, that's the kind of thing you run into.
That's the stuff.
And it really is for better or for worse, because I had to take her to the hospital. We didn't know what was wrong. They were running a bunch of tests, and she was back there for hours. And the doctor come out and said, "Well, you should expect the worst." I thought, "Oh, great. Now I got to go back to Goodwill and get all of her clothes."
Where's the
So
button,
is this
Justin?
also
Here it
an
is.
exercise in your budding career in stand-up comedy?
No. I was just giving a little insight to marriage, but it's good you're not engaged. Okay, so let's...
No, I'm not engaged.
Okay.
Not engaged. Do you have a boyfriend?
I do have a
Okay.
boyfriend.
All right. Sorry, everybody out there watching. She's off the table.
Off the table.
I don't know what I was
the
gonna-
table.
I don't know what I was going to say there.
Okay. I don't know where it was. Okay.
I have no idea what I was going to say there.
I don't know.
We warned you. It would go off the rails pretty quick.
Sorry, fellas.
Well, Dianna, what do you think your biggest responsibility is in your current role?
In my current role, well, I will say that I feel my responsibility is really great to, like I said, those small and local businesses. Sometimes I work with agencies who handle lots of different businesses for lots of different accounts, and those will usually be some of the bigger businesses. But when you're working with a small, local, direct account, like I said, you're helping grow them from the ground up, and you can be responsible for a lot of their success. You can be responsible for the messaging that they're putting out there and whether or not it's of good quality. And sometimes I'm really the only person that a business may have to look to in terms of advice on how they should set themselves up in the market, and that can be a big responsibility because
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Their
Yeah.
success depends on you and your
yeah, it
advice.
does. And so sometimes people can look at you as kind of the thing that makes or breaks their business. But I do always say that in advertising, I can bring people to your door, but I can't make them buy when they get there.
You can get them up to the plate, but you can't hit the pitches.
Exactly. And
It's up to
so-
them to close the deals.
Right. It's a really strong balance between the advertiser and the person who's helping them with their marketing behind the scenes and the business itself. What are their processes like when someone comes to them, when a client does want to do business with them? Are they closing the deals? Are they
Right.
treating their customers well? Are they being good about following up? And, are you promising them what you were alleging that you would give them online? But
Well, how many clients do you work with? I mean, do you have just like a certain amount you work with? That way you can give them each a lot of attention, or do you just, the more the merrier, I can handle everybody? I mean, how does that work?
I mean, I love working with as many businesses as I possibly can. And it varies, you know, you go through ebbs and flows, but generally I have between 25 and 40 accounts.
Wow, that's good.
So when you talk about like when you're going to accept a client or something like that, do you do your own research on the particular company or whoever it is and say, I don't know about this company because they're not following up on their stuff. They don't promise their stuff like they say online and all this stuff. So it's not a good marketing for me. It's not a good opportunity for me to actually help them in that sense, because in a sense it's going to make you look bad in what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great point. I think that when you're going to pursue a business, I mean, a lot of the time, particularly in the Charlotte market, we have businesses come to us and, you know, they're looking for our services. And so I work as a consultant. But other times, you know, I see a business that I want to work with that I go after. And, you know, you can tell a lot by looking at someone's website. The first thing I say to a lot of people is, what does your website look like? Is it an easy experience for a customer once they get online? And being really empathetic in each step of the process. And that's a big part in how I kind of choose who I want to work with too.
Yeah.
Can I very easily tell what they're offering? Can I very easily tell, you know, what some of their strengths are? Do they seem like they have like their brand presence together already? Because it is a lot easier to promote a brand who has a sense of identity already, and they're not having to also like create that, and you're having to figure out everything for them. Because it can be a lot to deal with. So it can definitely be really a lot more enjoyable to work with people who understand their brand a little bit too.
They pretty much have they have their stuff together.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes it a lot
You're
easier
just
for
gonna
you.
make it better for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alan, do you hear that? Websites are important, buddy.
What's a website?
Well, how do you think your role has changed since you've been doing this, or how has your job changed? I mean, because I'm sure there's a lot of changes that are constantly taking place.
Yeah, so this is definitely an industry that changes all the time. And I was talking with a coworker about this recently, because with the company that I was with, it used to be just cable. That was all they did. And 20 years ago, advertising was so different. People had a very regimented approach to everything, and now there are so many different ways that you can approach advertising and all these different sectors of your audience. But that's a huge way that it's changed. You know, every year there's some kind of new solution that's added to our repertoire. For example, well, like I just said, you know, cookies.
Yeah.
We're getting rid of those. That was something that we used to offer, and that's not going to be a thing anymore. We're phasing that out. Social media, I mean, TikTok is huge now.
Yeah.
That's not a thing that existed like 5 years ago. The game changes constantly, and you have to stay on top of things. And even today, you know, I work with some like older agency buyers who look at a very specific way of buying TV, and, you know, maybe they don't see the value in streaming as much. But let's be real here. When you guys watch TV, are you watching everything that you consume on cable?
No.
Exactly.
I have satellite.
All right. So everybody's a little bit different.
Wow.
And
That's just because I don't have cable in my area.
well, that's why you have to look at things through these different lenses, because you need multiple approaches. And I like to try to make a client as inescapable as possible. You know, when you are in the doctor's office, I want someone to be able to see a Nelon-Cole ad on their phone. When they're sitting at home at the end of the day, I want them to be relaxed on their couch and see a Nelon-Cole ad on their TV. When they're on vacation, I want them to be able to be on their iPad and see an ad there. You know,
Nice.
Following this client or following your prospect around wherever they are and being able to connect with them on any screen. And I think that's something that is always changing a ton in this industry, is how you connect with that person and where you connect with them.
Yeah. So other than Nelon-Cole, what's your most famous client?
I'm glad Nelon-Cole's considered to be a famous
Because I was going to say Nelon-Cole. As far as local clients go, because that is primarily who I do business with, or local businesses, ones that you guys have probably heard of, Campbell University.
Yeah.
That's a law school, isn't it?
Yes. But a campaign that we helped them run a couple of years ago during like the pandemic was they were putting out ads about, getting vaccinated. And so we helped share that message. And that was a statewide campaign, which was pretty cool. I also work with Johnson C. Smith University in Charlotte, and they're so much fun to work with. I really love them. And Two Kings Casino, which is actually pretty
Two
close
Kings,
to you
nice.
guys. Yeah.
That is
Have you
awesome.
been to Two Kings?
Say that again?
Have you been there?
I actually have not played at Two Kings.
Oh, I haven't.
Really?
No.
I
Which is
played.
crazy because I love Vegas.
How many times have you been to Vegas?
I've been to Vegas. I just took my third trip out there a month
Third
ago.
trip to Vegas.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's a
And
pro.
she can't
pro.
tell you what happened there.
No, because
I
it's
was-
stays in
That's right.
Vegas.
Yes.
It stays in Vegas.
It's-
I was
yeah,
going to
that's right.
ask her. I thought about that. I was
No,
going to
no.
ask her what the craziest thing happened in Vegas, but everything stays in Vegas.
Yeah, exactly.
It does. It does. Some of those have been business trips, so like nothing like too insane.
Business
Wait,
trips.
I do want to ask this. Did you ride that slingshot looking thing?
Oh, absolutely not. No. I would not say that I'm a
That's
huge
crazy.
thrill seeker.
So you
Really?
don't go to
So,
Carowinds.
not like, yeah.
No. Did y'all see recently the thing at Carowinds where it was like a crack?
Yeah. And the
In-
Fury.
Yes,
Yeah.
I saw that. Oh my gosh, that's scary.
People were still riding it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it'd go over, it just.
And almost,
cares?
going back to scary movies, I almost looked like a movie, Final Destination.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
Lord.
That roller coaster.
That's kind of what did it for me.
That's what
I
did
saw
it?
that movie when I
that
was
was in my
like
top 5 list.
7th grade. I can't believe I forgot about that one. I got to add it to my list, y'all.
Just adding that as we speak.
Writing it
It's
down
awesome.
is cheating.
Hey, speaking
How?
of that,
It has to be spontaneous.
we haven't talked about the poll.
The poll?
Yes. About the scary movie poll.
Yeah, so yeah, the poll there. Like I said, there was a few movies that kind of came out that I didn't know. I didn't think about. I mentioned a little bit of it in the introduction when we first came on, but The Strangers was one of those ones that came out that
Wait a minute. Is that the one with Batista in it?
No,
Which one is that?
that is Knock at the Cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
a good one.
Batista.
Was it?
Yeah, I think with the family and the.
No, I know what movie you're talking about. I just didn't think it was a good movie.
Do y'all watch a lot of scary movies? It seems pretty clear to me that you watch a lot of scary
Justin
movies.
watched his first scary movie at 3
You're like a
years old.
connoisseur.
And he let his 3-year-old daughter watch a scary movie.
Does she like them?
She does. She loves Halloween.
Okay.
Michael Myers.
All right.
Right? She calls Michael Myers Uncle Mike.
Uncle Mike.
Yeah, Uncle
Go
Mike coming to the
slay all
house.
day.
Justin loves it. If Justin were not doing pest control, he would be a serial murderer.
Oh, no.
He loves it that much.
He just puts the mask on and goes around the front door and knocks.
Yeah.
Tells Lily to come open the door.
Do I have my pepper spray?
He would
Did I
behead
bring my
everybody.
pocket knife?
Yeah. You got to keep it handy. So, yeah, Bart is right. I watched my first scary movie when I was 3. I watched Chucky, Child's Play.
What a
That's
kid movie for a
terrible.
3-year-old to watch.
And then, like a few days, weeks later, we go to Walmart. I'm in the toy aisle, and I see a Chucky doll, and that freaked me out. Obviously,
Okay, I was about to say, did you say like, oh my God, Dad, can you buy it for me, please?
no, I didn't.
I was like, wow, we really do have a crazy
I was like, I
movie
gotta get the hell out of here. I'm about to die. Sorry.
They've taken. There you go, Alan.
There it is.
They have taken those movies way too far.
He did say it earlier, Alan.
But you said it.
Did you guys
I didn't
see-
say it. I don't say words like that.
I thought you said it.
But yeah, they've taken those Chucky movies way too far. You see, he's like got a girlfriend in one of them, and they're like making out.
He's got a wife, man.
Yeah, wife. Yeah.
Did y'all see the Mark Hamill one that just came out?
Mark Hamill horror movie?
A year ago? No, they did a new Child's Play.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
with
did.
Mark Hamill?
I didn't see that.
Was
one.
it last year or 2 years ago?
Yeah,
Time's
they
a blur.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Luke
he-
Skywalker.
Yeah, Mark Hamill was the voice of Chucky.
Yep.
Really?
Yes.
Sometimes I'm like, and the Star Wars money, is it running out? Because
No.
he is doing a lot of
He
kind
did.
of
He did
low-rent movies
voiceover for
these
the
days.
Joker and all the animated
true.
Batman movies. He was fantastic.
He was a good Joker. He was. So, do you like scary movies?
I would not say that I'm a person who particularly enjoys scary movies. I'm definitely scared very easily, but like once I start watching them, I get so invested.
Do you go to haunted houses during Halloween?
Not since I was in high school and you had like
Gotcha.
all the friends dragging
everybody.
you. It's like
There
I
you
have
go.
to do this if I want to fit in with my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. One time I before me and my wife obviously got married, we were dating. That was a stupid line.
Before we got married, we were dating.
That was so dumb. Don't edit that out though. It's pretty funny.
Wait, I have to do this.
Yeah.
That was perfectly fitting.
Yeah, I deserved that. She doesn't like haunted houses either. Hates them. But we went one time for my birthday because my birthday is in October on the 13th. This past Friday,
happy
so
belated
Friday the
birthday.
13th. Yeah, it was Alan's birthday the day after mine. I didn't know
That's
that.
right.
Yep.
That's
Happy
right.
also belated
Yes.
birthday.
So we go. I pay for her to go into this haunted pyramid maze, whatever it was. She doesn't even make it through the line. She goes back to the car and just sits.
She got scared of the line. What
Yeah.
a great haunted house.
Yeah.
Was this,
Yeah, it was awesome.
was this the haunted pyramid in Lawndale?
No, it wasn't there. It was.
I didn't know if that was still.
It is
a thing
there
or not.
Yeah, it is there. It was the Fear Farm down in Blacksburg.
Well,
Which is always
just going
sketch.
to Blacksburg
Yeah,
itself is
it's
scary.
scary as hell.
Horrifying. Horrifying.
Like you're gonna see a lot of stuff on the Blacksburg streets, bro. That's gonna scare you.
Well, thank God you have a 3-year-old daughter who loves Michael Myers now.
She does.
And she's going to love going on the spook trails
I
and
know.
haunted houses with you now.
Like I cannot wait for her. I can't take her to like the movie theater yet. Like bringing she's 5 now, so bringing my 5-year-old into the theater.
Yeah.
And go,
People might think it was a bit strange.
yeah, to watch The Exorcist. Like, come on, baby girl, let's get your popcorn.
Yeah.
We're gonna rock this.
Dude, there's some bad. Wait a minute. Are we talking about the original Exorcist here?
No.
Oh, okay.
There's a new one that came out.
Okay, I was gonna say because there's no way I'd take a kid to the unedited version of that one.
No, it was
That movie's
deep.
brutal.
You want to know how old that movie is? We still have it on beta VHS tape.
What's a beta V? Was
Oh
that
no,
like a
she
VCR?
did not just
Oh,
say
okay.
that.
Well, a
VCR.
beta VHS tape. Well, I know what a VHS
Yeah.
tape is, but
Yeah, I
what's
do
the
too.
beta?
I don't know what beta is
What is
either.
It's
that?
like the smaller version.
Beta was actually a superior format to
Yes.
VHS.
Yes.
But it didn't make it
Wow.
because
I
I
didn't know
think,
that.
as I remember, it was only backed by Sony and VHS was backed by pretty much everybody else.
Yes.
So yeah,
Wow, I didn't know that. So Diana, what are your top scary movies? Although you don't really like scary movies.
I do have some that I like. I
And
do
you
have
don't
some that I
seek
like.
any thrills.
Yeah.
The ones that are on my list are not like the scariest movies ever, but they are ones that I really enjoy. So every year I always watch Halloween. So
Yep.
Like the original?
The original.
The original is my favorite.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's so
That's
good.
Justin's as
It's a
well.
classic.
It is a
It's
classic.
Delightful. And it honestly
Delightful.
it's delightful. It has a cozy
Delightful.
vibe.
oh, they're cheesy now.
I'm hoping Lily grows up and says the same thing. It's delightful.
But yeah, I really I love the Halloween movie. It's definitely one that I return to time and time again. I like a slasher movie a
Yeah.
lot more than anything that's kind of paranormally.
I just watched the new Halloween. What is it? Rob Zombie's version.
Oh, get out of here with that.
It wasn't as good as the old one, but it was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Did it have Jamie Lee Curtis in it?
No.
Because they just put out a
No,
new Jamie
she
Curtis
was in.
one.
She was in the last of the non-reboot ones. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like a sequel to the very original one.
Yes, they rebooted it, and there's already like. But the weird thing is, they were going at the same time. There was a rebooted version, and they were still, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
original-
because I thought the
It's
Rob
confusing.
Zombie ones were like 10 years ago.
Yeah, they were.
15 years
Yeah,
ago or
yeah,
so.
yeah.
So they had Halloween. They came back out with Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And which was the direct sequel of what happened in 1978. So you had that one, then you had Halloween Kills, where Michael just goes on this crazy killing spree. Like he's taking out firefighters, everything. I mean, man's taking out everybody.
Uncalled for.
I mean, it is. And then you have Halloween Ends, which kind of obviously is what it is. It ends. Like another spoiler alert, if you want 3, 2, 1. Like Michael literally dies in this movie.
Okay.
Like
Like in every other
Yeah.
one.
No, not like in every other one of them. Because you think he's dead in Halloween Kills. Like this whole mob takes him out. I mean, shoots him, stabs him, all this stuff, and then my man gets up and just kills the whole mob. It's ridiculous.
What did he kill them with? He doesn't use guns, does he?
No, he killed him with the same stuff that they were trying to kill him with.
Justin needs an offshoot podcast just where he can riff on horror movies for an
You
hour.
really should.
I'm telling you, man.
So what,
I'm telling
else
you.
do you have on your list?
All right.
Wait.
He's gonna go for an hour.
Hold on. Everybody just calm down. I didn't finish my spoiler.
Okay.
This is how he dies, so you know he's not coming back.
I got you.
They put him in like, the thing that just rips up the car, like you put it in there and just rips up all the car.
Yeah.
They throw him in there and it just rips him to shreds, man.
Why didn't
No.
they think of that in the first 10 movies?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's good. I mean,
No, they just cut his head off and split him in two and
Listen,
burn him
they
and
cut-
drown him. And
Jamie Lee Curtis
He
in
always
Halloween
comes back.
H2O cuts the wrong man's head off, okay? Michael switched the guy's body, okay? Look, I can go all night
how do you know his body wasn't switched in the shredder?
because
It's possible.
no. Because Jamie Lee Curtis stabs him like millions of times. They take the mask off. The whole town takes him on this like car ride. Like he's like on the roof of the car.
Now I feel like I need to watch it.
You have to watch it.
Something.
Like the whole town, like they like
a
do a
parade.
memorial service
Oh
in
my
Haddonfield.
gosh.
They take the long ride to the. I'm not kidding. To the body shop to like shred this
The
guy.
body shop.
Town holiday.
I just love that body shop.
Yeah.
It's very fitting.
No pun intended.
It's very fitting.
So what
All
else
right,
you got?
second one.
So now the Justin Horror podcast continues.
All right. So my next movie on the list is Scream. And really, this could qualify for all of the Screams in the Scream
Right.
franchise. I think they're great.
They are great.
Especially at the time they came out too, because it really like just subverted the whole genre and calling out all of these tropes that there were. And I just think it's really cool. And it's a good movie. I really love Scream as well. And it's not like too scary.
It's not too scary. It's also not too gory either.
No, it's like fun. It's like
yeah.
fun gory. Like
Yeah.
everything very much feels like fake blood.
Yeah.
Whereas,
Yeah.
Saw, that's not the case.
No. Like I can't. That's the one thing about Saw movies that I can't get over. Like just the intensity of how gory they are.
Oh, I know. That's,
It's intense.
Saws were on my list. I like all the Saws.
You do?
I've watched them all
Oh,
probably
yeah.
a dozen
Bart loves
times.
So what appeal? What's the appeal?
I don't know. It's just like justice is being served or something.
Okay.
I mean, it's just.
It's true.
It's like these people deserve it, It's not
They
like
did
just
that in the
random
Lone
killing.
Ranger.
That is true. He is like a hardcore Dexter. He
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
You like Dexter?
You're not talking
I
about the
haven't
little black
watched
kid,
enough.
are you?
I haven't watched.
No, I'm talking.
Okay.
I'm talking.
I get the impression she maybe hasn't watched Dexter.
No, I haven't watched enough of Dexter to. I haven't watched enough of Dexter to really form a good opinion on it. I've seen like half of the first season.
Oh yeah, you gotta get more into it.
It's a little kitschy, but it was fun. I enjoyed the episodes that I watched.
Yeah.
But
So Scream. What's your? Have you seen all the Screams? Have you seen the newest Scream?
I have not seen the newest Scream. Is it worth a watch?
Yeah, for sure.
Is it legitimately worth a watch? Like
Yes.
it's actually good?
Yeah, my
Yeah.
wife went to the movie theater to watch it. She said it was good.
I thought didn't it come out in January? I
Yeah.
just don't
Yeah.
understand why people don't capitalize on the right times of year to be putting out horror movies. Like
I
the
agree.
new Haunted Mansion movie. I'm like,
Yeah.
Disney, why are you releasing this on the same weekend as Barbie?
I know.
Or the weekend after Barbie? It's nonsense.
It doesn't make sense. That's why I need you.
Absolutely.
That's why
Disney,
they need
hire
you.
me. That could really help.
That's right. What's all right? What's number 3?
Okay, number 3. Us, the Jordan Peele movie.
Fantastic movie.
Great movie.
I haven't seen it.
And
Fantastic.
I don't know that this is like truly one of the scariest movies ever, but when I was in college, my roommate loved scary movies. She's a connoisseur like you. She will watch every terrible scary movie that there is on
Connoisseur.
Netflix just to find the halfway decent one.
That's what I do.
But like Get Out was really popular. That one was good.
Get Out was good.
So she was like, come on, let's go see Us. Just come with me. I'm like, okay, I went. And it was like I couldn't even look in the mirror for a week because I was like afraid of my own reflection.
Yeah, Bart, so if you don't, I mean, obviously you hadn't seen the movie, so this is like, there's like this other person of like you, and it's like an evil version of you.
Gotcha.
Like, would just straight murder you.
Yeah.
Like, they
want you
murdered
dead.
like, your doppelganger, basically.
Yeah, so it's like very weird to see a movie, at least from my perspective, that like kind of made me like afraid of myself a little bit. Definitely very creepy.
Was that the one, or was it Get Out that had the rabbits?
That's us.
That's
that was us.
okay, that's us.
I
That's
never
us.
understood the rabbits.
I can't remember.
There was something
really
about
long
it. Yeah, I can't either. I would have to go back and watch it, but there was something about the rabbits. Get Out had the deer.
I never got into Get Out. I thought that was kind of, it was way overrated in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah, Get Out.
It turned strange.
Yeah, it did turn strange. I mean,
Really quickly.
yeah, and he got killed with that deer head. It kind of towards the end.
Not the main character.
No, not the main character.
He
but
actually
the guy
survives.
who was doing the surgeries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, the thing with me in scary movies is I can't remember a lot about them because
Could you try to
once
block
is
them out?
enough. Once is enough.
You try to block them out?
Yeah. Us, I saw one
like a
time
bow.
and I was like, never again.
It's like a bad childhood memory.
Yeah.
I'm just going to block that out of my mind.
Exactly. Which brings us to our next movie on my list, Child's Play.
Child's Play.
Ah.
So I saw Child's Play at a sleepover when I was in elementary school, I think.
Okay.
And life was never the same.
Not as young as I was.
No, it definitely traumatized me for real. And I loved dolls when I was little. And they were called American Girl dolls. If anybody out there in the audience knows what those are, I loved these things. And they were like all I played with. And after I saw this movie, I took these dolls, my beloved little dolls, and I hid them under the bed in my parents' guest bedroom. I did not go in that guest bedroom for like 6 months. My mom would like send me in there to get a coat out of the closet. I would like run in, run out. I was not going in there unless the lights were on. Like I was terrified. You know, we'd go to like Party City in October to pick out a Halloween costume. They would have the Chucky mask up on the wall, and I'd be like, can't look, looking away.
Oh, man. So it really like did a number on you.
Oh yeah, I was very, very much horrified.
So elementary school, what age, what grade were you in when you seen this movie?
It was probably like 3rd grade, I would guess.
Okay.
Maybe 4.
So like 7, 8, 9?
Something around there.
Range?
Yeah.
That's a rough age to see
I think
that.
that's a big part of what scares you about a movie, the age in which you see it.
Very much so.
Because it's so impressionable on you,
Yeah.
depending on what age you are.
Right, because I mean like,
3.
Exactly.
that'll do it to you.
That'll do it.
I don't
Right,
know
like, if
what
I
my
had
mom was
seen-
thinking.
If you saw Chucky running around at this age, like, you're not worried about it.
Yeah, I'm kicking him.
Yeah, exactly. You throw him out the window, you'll be fine.
So what's funny is there's a Chucky series, like a TV show.
Yeah, I saw that.
That comes on USA and Sci-Fi. And I watched this show because I just find it entertaining still, and I just love scary stuff. But I'm like, man, like, how is he still killing people? Like, why can this dude not be taken out?
If only they had a shredder.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they got a new Pet Cemetery out. Nobody's talking about Pet Cemetery anymore. Gage, I got something for you, Gage. And he slices his Achilles.
Gosh,
that was
dude,
awful.
I'm telling you, anytime somebody gets an Achilles sliced in the movie, I am like cringing the whole
Yeah.
It's
time.
definitely over for you at
Yeah,
that
you're
point.
done.
He
You
put
You're
it
can't
in
done.
his
get away.
pocket and I says, Gage, got something for you, Gage. And
Yeah.
Gage is under the bed. Just
Don't go near the
slices
road.
Oh, the pet cemeteries, man.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Pet Cemetery is on my list.
Is it really?
Wow.
It is.
They come out with a new one now, didn't they?
Yeah, they did a few years ago, maybe.
But
Yeah.
Herman Munster was not in that one. Well, he was the guy.
He was the guy. Yeah, he was the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know the actor's name. I'm embarrassed.
Wow.
Anybody?
No, I don't have it. I don't have it for you.
Dear. The book is really good. I really love the Pet Cemetery book.
Really?
Yeah, I heard the book's
Yeah.
better than the movie.
I think the movie is okay, but threw it on my list. The Shining is also on there.
Classic.
I
That
just
was on my
watched
list.
that like last week. Red Rum.
Red Rum.
It's so good. It's a classic.
It's
It is a
not
classic.
scary though. I mean,
It's psychologically.
you know
It's
that
yeah.
woman that was in that movie. They said she had to have like therapy for years after making that movie
Yeah, they do
because
say
it
that.
did such a psychological effect on her.
Yeah. That's the same thing with the little girl that played the Exorcist.
Yeah.
In there, they had a
Linda
lot of
Blair.
stuff.
Yeah.
What's her name again?
Linda Blair.
Linda Blair. That's right. A lot of stuff like happened. Like she went into hiding for a little bit.
Yeah.
After that movie.
Why?
But-
'Cause did she just feel
Like,
really bad about her
she was
experience in
possessed.
it, or?
She was not really.
She was possessed.
Okay. Why are you putting that out there? Why are you putting that out there like
I
that?
just want to see if you'll buy it.
I'm not. But she did make a cameo in the new Exorcist movie. Have you had anything happen to you, Dianna and Bart and Alan, when you're like at home and something just crazy happens and you're like, okay, like this is not the wind. This is not like nobody else is here. My dog is beside me asleep. Like, what the heck is going on over there? Anything like that happen?
Not to me. I mean, if there's anything that sounds weird in the house or anything, I can almost always say, oh, there's some rational explanation for it. I don't think ghosts or anything like that.
When I was in college, I lived in a dorm that was supposedly haunted, and I never had any like super crazy experiences, but during the time that I was in school, me and my roommate, we would tell this story. That was the closest thing that we had to a haunting. It was the middle of the night, and my roommate heard someone go to the bathroom. And in the morning, she was like, "Hey, did you go to the bathroom in the middle of the night?" We had a bathroom in our room. It was like a renovated hotel that we lived in.
Nice.
Kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very cool. But anyway, so I was like, "No, I didn't get up in the night or anything." And she was like, "I used the bathroom before bed. I did not flush. I heard a flush in the middle of the night." And I was like, "Ghost?" So
Well, you did
we
get
had a toilet flushing ghost. And so the thing with that was, like I said, it was a renovated hotel. So people used to say that there were maids that haunted the hotel. So perhaps a maid was taking care of
But could it not
the
have
bathroom that
been
we
the
didn't.
bathroom next door, perhaps?
Well, that's the thing.
She said she.
Y'all, we're going to have to cut this. I can't be talking about pee in the toilet.
No, that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
She said that the
She
her
said-
roommate didn't.
Okay, I missed that part. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yes.
Yes, okay, I got you.
So, like, she had gotten up in the night to go to the bathroom. She didn't flush because she didn't want to wake me up. But when she went to the bathroom in the morning, no
It was
pee.
gone.
No pee. The pee was gone.
The pee was gone.
Was
So
missing in
it very
action.
well could have been a maid that was just pissed because literally, yeah, they left the piss in the toilet.
Yeah, that
Very
she
well
went in there
done.
and
I
flushed
gotta flush
it.
that.
Can
Yeah.
you say that on the podcast?
Yes.
How do you explain it?
Well, I don't think that's necessarily a dirty word. It's not clean, but it's not dirty.
What is it?
So on the next
Sorry,
podcast,
guys. Didn't mean to take the conversation there.
No, you're
words you
fine.
can say and can't say.
So for me, when I bought my first house, I lived on 74 for everybody who's local, near the Beaver Dam Pantry is what they call it. I was at my house one night by myself, and I was watching just a regular game. I think it's I don't know what game I was watching, some football game. But that house had a basement. It was an unfinished basement, but that's where you came in and went upstairs and get to the actual house. It was just the easiest way to get into. So as I'm sitting there watching this game, all of a sudden I hear like somebody coming up my steps. I'm like, okay, that's weird. So I go.
That's just weird. Yeah, don't freak me out. I just think that's weird.
I thought it was weird. I thought somebody like one of my friends were coming over because we were watching the game or something like in my mind at the time. I can't remember what was
That's
happening.
weird.
But I was like, okay, like they should have called me. Like I should have received a text or something. And they just came in. But then I started thinking like, my door's locked. So how did they get in? So now I'm like, Bart, I am starting to freak out a little bit.
Right.
Like, okay, what's going on? So I go and open the door. Nothing's there. Like it's just pitch black down there because it's my basement. And I'm like, okay, so I'm just hearing things. So I go back and sit down, and literally 5 minutes later, it's like coming back up. And this time I hear him going back down. I went back and opened the door again. Still nothing.
Did you turn on a light or anything?
Yes, this time
That's my thinking, yeah.
Yes, this time I flipped the light on. Nobody's there. no sound coming out in the basement whatsoever. So now this is where I'm starting to really get freaked out. Okay, now I'm like, okay, I'm living in a scary movie. Like, this is, I thought I wanted this in my life. I don't. I don't want this in my life.
Till it happens to you.
Till it happens to you, until you're actually living it. So I go back and I sit down again. I'm like, okay, this time I'm gonna go to the door, and as soon as I hear it, I'm slinging it open. And I got my golf club in my hand, ready to just knock the crap out of somebody or whoever it is. So whoever it is about to take a 9-iron straight to the head. Whew. Okay. So sure enough, I'm standing there. I sling the door open. Nothing there. Not a single thing. And that was it.
That was the last of it?
That was it. That was all. I opened the door. So I don't know if I like invited it into my house.
God.
You know what I'm saying?
Into your body.
Come on in.
Yeah, like one of those, like the vampire's got to be invited in. Like, I don't know
like
if
Lost Boys.
Yeah. But I don't know, like that, like he was like whatever it was, the spirit, whatever you want to call it, was like trying to get inside the house, and then when I opened the door, it
was
just
trying
like
to get inside of you.
maybe it's still in me.
Well, did you ever have any experience after that, or was that kind of the end of it?
That was it.
I'm walking around,
That was it.
running stairs.
Yeah, that was it.
Well, we know who it wasn't. It wasn't Mike Myers because he was killed in a shredder.
That's
True.
right.
Very true.
That's right.
At the body shop.
You know, I didn't think about that when I'm watching the movie because I'm just thinking like, man, this dude is getting shredded right now. But he did go to the body shop to get shredded. It's so ironic.
Do you think they planned that?
Probably.
Was somebody thinking like,
I'm
gonna land this joke?
Yeah, the writer's like, yeah, we're gonna play that.
So, Dianna, how do you measure the quality of your work? How do you remember?
So we're back.
Perfect segue.
Wait a minute.
How do you
That Bart is a pro.
How do you measure the results you achieve by your ad campaigns?
Well, it's always good to like be in touch with your actual advertiser and to hear their feedback on their campaign, because sometimes the play is just brand awareness. Do more people know who we are now? Are we delivering upon the impressions that we were promising initially in the campaign? Is our brand awareness growing? Do people know who we are? And then other times it's a lot more low funnel of, have we closed more sales this year? Have we sold more products? Has this side of our business grown? And so, I mean, that's why it's important to keep in touch with your advertisers, because with any campaign, I can look at it as I'm doing my job, I'm holding up my end of the deal, but it's really being in touch with the people that you're working with that lets you know if what you're doing is actually serving them, or if you need to change your methods a little bit.
I think we may have touched a dab on this earlier, but what's been your greatest struggles or limitations with dealing with some of your clients?
I think sometimes people have really high expectations for what advertising
Yeah, I can
do.
see that.
Yeah.
I've had clients in the past who look at it as a way to save their business, and that's not what advertising is. Sometimes people like go really all in. They think it's going to be the thing that completely changes their business and makes everything different, and that's not what it is. I mean, it's strategic, and you should never feel like your advertising is just throwing something at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Well, we've been doing this a couple of years with you guys now, and we see that it takes time. It's like planting the seeds.
Absolutely.
And this is, and I think maybe you explained it to me this way: you can try to chop 20 trees down by hitting them once, or you can try to chop one tree down by hitting it 20 times. And that's what we've kind of focused on in the last year, and we've seen a lot better results by doing that.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. I always love to hear it when people are saying that they get good results. But yeah, there are just so many different ways that you can look at your advertising, and it's just always very important to know where your client is coming from and what their goals are, and also knowing your limitations. I've had people come to me with crazy pie in the sky ideas of what they want to happen. But like you just said, Bart, advertising, it takes time. It's not an overnight thing, especially with so many kinds of clients that I work with, where a lot of businesses, they're not really selling a product. They're doing something like what you guys do, which is a service. And so many services, especially in the home improvement sector, are not services that are targeting people who are going to act today or tomorrow. You know, if I'm thinking about doing a home renovation and I need my floors redone in my kitchen, you know, I'm not going to see the ad today and call tomorrow. That's not how it is.
Yeah, we're not doing
you spend time
infomercials
planning
here.
that. And so sometimes like people have a hard time grasping how long it can take to see your results and how long you have to stick with it. And also like budget. Sometimes people have a really, really small budget, and especially when I was first getting started, I don't like telling people no, and I love making people happy.
Yeah.
And when I first got started in this industry, I definitely struggled telling a client when they gave me a small budget to work with that we really just can't do a lot with it, because I want to try my best to make it work for them. But now I'm much more in a position where I can look someone in the eye and say, you've got, you know, $2,000 in the heart of Charlotte, North Carolina. That's not going to get you anywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm not going to take your money and tell you that it's going to work. I'll say, you know, come back a year from now, see where you're at, see if you have a little bit more money to play with. But, you know, you want to do something that's going to be effective. And I definitely feel like I'm a lot better at helping people understand how their ads can be more effective now.
Speaking of marketing channels, I mean, what do you feel like what marketing channels do you provide, and what do you feel like is the best for you?
What do you mean? For me? What do you mean?
Well, just say like what you have experience or expertise in. I mean, because you said you do internet, you do streaming, you know, tell us about some of those.
Yeah, so we have a lot of different offerings at our company, everything from standard traditional cable television to streaming TV to search, social, online video, and display. And something that I used to like go for display advertisements a lot. It's not something that I gravitate towards so much anymore, unless it has like, we call it an addressability factor. So being able to target one-to-one on a household level. So, I mean, social media, of course, is a place where everybody should be taking advantage of that now, and also search. I think those are two things that are really important. And with search, SEM, search engine marketing, if you're not farming the demand in the market, your competitor is, and you're always losing share in that space. So it's important to just get in the game, even just a little bit, which you guys are, which is great. So that's something that, if it makes sense, I generally always recommend it to people, because you just need to be doing some kind of search advertising, because you're not doing it, someone else is. But it really depends on what kind of business you have, because I don't recommend the same tools to everyone. You know, what makes sense for a local salon is absolutely not the same thing that makes sense for a university. It's just very different, and everything that I do is very much tailored to the client that I'm working with and what their goals for the business are.
So the clients that you work with, like, there is a lot of give and take there. Like, you hope to come into that clientele relationship and say, okay, this is what we can do. What do you think about that? Does that ever become an issue? Like, where you're suggesting something and the person is like, nah, I don't think that's going to work. And you're like, no, trust me, it's going to work. Like, do you have to kind of like push your power and say, like, no, you need to trust me on this?
Yeah. So earlier I mentioned a very traditional means of media buying that some people are still all about. And I have had conflicts like that before, where, you know, I'm telling someone where they need to be.
Your
and
ideas suck. Listen to me.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to call somebody's baby ugly.
Right.
Sometimes you probably should.
Sometimes you should.
It's not avoidable, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I've definitely run into situations where people have a very old school way of going about their advertising, and it's not something that necessarily makes sense, or they think they know what their audience is interested in, and they think they know where their audience is watching, but sometimes people are out of touch, and you know, that's why we bring data into what we do to back up what we're suggesting.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Well, I was shocked how many different medias there are now. I mean, I never realized streaming was so big until you introduced that aspect of it, and It's just amazing how many people stream and watch regular TV and go to the internet. I mean, there's just social media. It's it's so many different outlets.
Yeah.
You just plug into one advertising conglomerate now. It's amazing the ways you can get in touch with people.
Yeah, it really is.
Absolutely. Something that's really amazing to me is how many people are streaming and don't realize that they're streaming.
Right.
I remember a couple years ago, I was working with a client, and he had asked to see like kind of a schedule of how his ads were going to run. And when you're buying traditional, we call it linear TV, cable TV, you can see exactly, you know, what times your commercial is going to air. So I provided him with a few of the times that his commercial was going to run that day, and he had just gotten on the air, and he called me, and he was so mad. It was a Saturday too. I remember he was pissed because his commercial didn't run. And he thought that I'd been lying to him, and I was like, had to talk to him about it. And I was like, okay, well, you know, what does the device look like that you're watching on? And what we ended up realizing was that he thought he had been watching cable, but he was watching on a streaming device. He was watching on a Roku, and he didn't even know. And I'm like, okay, well, that's why you didn't see.
That's why you didn't see
your
it.
ad.
Yeah.
How many different networks do you guys deal with? I know, is it hundreds or?
Oh gosh, yeah, loads. So cable, 60 plus networks, but in the streaming space, and again, this is why I always, if someone's going for TV in general, I always want to add in a layer of streaming to that because it reaches beyond just our spectrum footprint too, and it's really important to be in every household that you can reach that fits within your target demo. But I mean, we have over 450 partners, networks.
Wow,
that's insane.
So you're getting a really large reach.
Does that include the streaming and all?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Is it expensive? I mean, you know, I was pleasantly surprised what it costs to do ads on TV, but most people think this is really expensive. I mean, is it? Would you tell people it's expensive?
It can be. It definitely can be. I have some clients who have spent. I've been in like really. It definitely depends on the type of business that it is. I have clients who have spent like $30,000 a month. I've also had clients who spend $2,000 a month. It's a really, really wide range. It depends a lot on what areas you advertise in. So for example, like right now we're sitting in Shelby, North Carolina. Traditional cable TV in this zone, we call it, it's not super expensive here, and it's a lot more affordable than people think.
Well, that's what I noticed because I was looking at what you guys did for us in Lincoln County, and I was very surprised how reasonable it was. I mean, from August 23 to January 24, you guys are running 35,333 ads for us. And I've done the math on it. We only pay like 12 cents an ad. I mean, to me, it seems like everybody could afford that to some degree.
Yes, you definitely can. And that's part of where it comes into about, you know, when you talk about with me, like, how do I decide how I want to work with someone?
Right.
And you kind of have to be strategic with who you want to work with because some of those ads can be really, really cheap. But you don't only want to run on like the cheapest networks because, you know, it's important to be in a mix of spaces. Like we are in North Carolina, Fox News is consistently among one of the most watched networks. So if you have an audience target who watches Fox News, it's important for you to be in that space, even though it's one of the more expensive networks. And you're going to pay a lot more for a spot on Fox News that's getting so many viewers versus a spot on, say, for example, like
Hallmark.
Actually, Hallmark's expensive.
Really?
Comparatively. Hallmark,
Wow.
Fox News are kind of around the same area.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, you have no idea of Hallmark Christmas movies.
I mean, I get it. I
the
get
power
it.
of the Christmas movie.
I get it. And they do the Christmas in July stuff. I get it. But that's like more of a dynamic for the ladies, right? I mean, but
Yes.
you
Yes.
think
so it
women
does
don't
have,
spend?
I know women spend, okay? I get it.
It's just for the ladies.
I'm just saying that surprises me that would be one of the more expensive networks. What's the cheapest network?
Yeah, let's go for the
MTV.
Really cheap. MTV is also not the cheapest. Oprah Winfrey Network is not that expensive.
That's funny to me because she is
nobody
like so
watches
like.
it. No, I'm just kidding, Oprah.
You're not kidding.
I mean, Harpo.
Harpo.
Wow.
You ever seen The Color Purple? Harpo was her husband. It's Oprah spelled backwards.
Whoa.
You got me. I didn't
know that one.
No.
I didn't either. That's some deep stuff right there, bud.
Yeah.
I've actually never seen it. ACC Network is very affordable.
Really?
Yes.
It's not going to be Saturday night when
they only
Clemson
had
goes to
good teams.
Miami.
Well,
It
is
depends
true.
on like what game is running. Sorry, y'all.
Like ACC Network, the primetime game is normally like Boston College and Georgia Tech.
Right.
So I can see why it's cheap.
Yeah, but it's important to find like your lookalike audiences.
Yeah.
So let's say HGTV. That's a really expensive network that people want, and it's important to be in that space. And something that I actually do for Nelon-Cole's campaign, contextual advertising is really important. You want to put ads about services that are related to your home.
Makes sense.
On TV, on streaming, while people are watching content that's making them think about.
So
their
when I'm
home.
watching Flip or Flop, I can see Nelon-Cole.
Yes, you could.
That is awesome. I love
so-
Flip or Flop.
Flip or flop.
Have you seen that show?
Never heard of it.
Dude, have you seen that show? Dianna?
Yes.
Awesome show.
I really enjoy Fixer Upper and Hometown. Those are two of my favorites.
Yeah, Hometown's
on
good.
HGTV.
Hometown's good.
But talking about the lookalike networks, so you're not having to pay as much to reach a very similar audience.
kinda like
Magnolia
us.
Network.
The mirror.
That is
Bart is
Bart
on
coming in.
fire.
My man has got one-liners
I'm
for
telling you,
days.
stand-up comedy. The career
One-liners
is
for
taking off.
days.
Bart Dangerfield. No respect.
No respect, that's for sure.
But yeah, so Fixer Upper, like I just mentioned. Chip and Joanna Gaines, they got their start on HGTV. They turned DIY Network formerly into Magnolia Network. And they show very similar content.
Well, you
and
said
a lot
we
of the
were
same
huge
content.
on Magnolia Network.
Yes. I put you guys on Magnolia
You
Network.
would never think it.
A ton.
Really?
Yeah.
I would never ask to be on Magnolia Network. She said that's like our second biggest hits.
What's the biggest for Nelon-Cole?
Was it? Did you say Food Network?
That's a
maybe?
good question. Yeah, you
Or
guys are on
Fox
Food
and
Network
What News?
a lot.
Fox, I think.
Yeah, I have you guys on Fox.
Food Network is one of the biggest ones for
Yeah, it's
Nelon-Cole?
like top
Really?
three.
People
Really?
think that they're going to get bugs in their food or something, so they
Yeah.
call and yeah.
Well, the thing too with a business that's related to the home
interesting.
is women a lot of the time are the ones that are making the decision. So, I mean, obviously for you guys, it is pest control. You guys are not an exclusively like aesthetic related business.
What we
but-
find out is when it comes to pest control, yes, women majority make decisions. But when you start talking about waterproofing, you're spending 10 or 15 grand, then the man will step in and be like, wait a minute, maybe we need to get a few more estimates.
And then the woman says, yeah, we're
Wait.
getting this done.
Exactly.
And then he's
Wait.
like, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's important to reach both sides of that audience, but typically home improvement related businesses do skew female. So yeah, Food Network. Let's just talk about like some of the most watched networks for this area, for the Charlotte DMA is what we call it. Food Network, Hallmark, HGTV, Fox News, CNN,
That's-
ESPN.
I can see it
obviously.
now.
Yeah, ESPN.
A special Biltmore Christmas brought to you by Nelon-Cole.
Yes.
And it works.
And it works. So, wow. So, Food Network, HGTV, CNN, Fox News. Those are Hallmark
Yeah.
are the biggest kind of.
PBS, USA.
Yeah. So, those are kind of the biggest networks that people watch around this area.
Yeah.
I am still shocked that Hallmark is so far up there.
I know.
Well, this is
But
something.
we are in the South. Like, we are in the South. So, that's kind of one of those things like that.
Christmas in Dixie.
I know.
Yeah.
not
Christmas
not even with it being the South, but this is something that has been so interesting since I've started working in advertising, and this is something that I actually run into with clients a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I'll go in, I'll tell a guy who owns a business, well, you need to be on Hallmark, and people think, oh, nobody's watching that. And I'm like, you don't watch it because you don't fit the profile necessarily
Yeah.
of the person that we're trying to reach. But the data doesn't lie, the numbers don't lie. This is who's tuning in. This is how deep your penetration into the market is when you advertise on this network. And that's why you shouldn't only advertise on the stations and on the channels that you watch,
Right.
because you'll be surprised a lot of the time by what the content is that people consume.
Diana is the criminal minds of marketing. She's a profiler.
She is a profiler.
And see, here's another thing. I can tell
Awesome
you this.
show,
I
by
can
the
tell
way.
you this from having a grandkid now, and that is that Coco Melon plays in the house 24 hours a day. So,
Coco Melon.
Put you some ads in Coco Melon or Trash Truck or Baby Shark and cash
Shark.
in.
Baby Shark.
Do-do-do-do-do.
That
Baby
song will
Shark,
get in your
do-do-do.
head and you'll sing it for a month.
I know, so don't. It's
Yeah,
already
don't-
there.
It's already there. It's
Mommy
too late.
Shark,
That's all you got to
do-do-do-do-do.
say.
Are you guys on Instagram or TikTok?
We
Yes,
should
I'll
be.
be honest with you. TikTok is the only social media I have, but
So
we're not on it.
surprising. Well, you're ahead
I
of the
don't.
curve.
I don't do Facebook. Never have.
I don't have any social
I
media.
won't.
Is that?
Wow, really?
I really don't. Yeah.
That's actually very surprising.
Yeah. I want. I need to get TikTok.
I've got 8
Mind
videos
Your
of
Business
TikTok, all
podcast.
of my dog mainly.
So I do like hearing people's perspectives on this kind of thing. So what's your approach to social media? Why don't you like using it, or why do you avoid it?
I think it's like, so there's a lot of good in it. Obviously, I see the good in it, but like Facebook especially, it's became so much of a like this or that, and it's just argumentative all the time, and it's not really there for the advertising or what it was meant to be. Like, I think obviously when you put society in anything, especially American society, it has a good chance to be ruined. Just with the people in there and that kind of thing. I mean, so, but like the TikTok stuff, I love. Like, I love watching all the videos on TikTok. I don't have it, but like everybody just sends me TikToks all the time, and I'm just watching them, and I think it's hilarious. I think it's a great platform for people to get their name out. So I think if you're using it like a business standpoint, I think any social media is a great platform to get your name out, especially today's time, because more so than I think even TV or streaming, and you can enlighten me on this, but I think social media is still a big, big player in advertisement.
Oh, absolutely. That's
Yeah.
not going anywhere.
Right.
I think it's really important to use social media for your business, especially because like there's zero cost of entry for
Yeah,
social
it's low-hanging
media.
fruit for sure.
Yeah, you don't have to advertise on social media. You can just put content out there. And of course, things are different for every business. I mean, like, let's be real here. Are you going to be more likely to follow like your favorite golfer on Instagram or the pest control company that
Yeah.
you use? I mean,
Or your favorite golf caddy.
Yes.
or your favorite golf caddy.
Lorcan.
So there are different ways that social media can be used, but I mean, I do think it's important for every brand to have some kind of social media presence, but social media is a full-time job, and that's also a thing
Yeah.
that a lot of people don't understand. It requires so much effort, so much time, and especially for local businesses who are doing everything themselves, they don't necessarily always have a full team behind them, or like someone who got like a degree in marketing or advertising or something, and they're trying to do it on their own. Like, it's a lot to keep up with, and
Sure.
I can absolutely
That's why
understand.
we pay Alan and Diana,
That's exactly
our
right.
marketing
wait.
team right here.
I get paid?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hadn't seen that check yet,
I
have
think
you?
I think
Yeah,
my
I know.
wife gets it. Yeah.
I think Facebook is a lot of invasion of privacy. People put too much stuff on there. I'm going to the beach for a week. Come rob my house.
Come-
you know?
yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Come break in and steal my house.
Yeah, there can definitely be a problem
Yeah.
with oversharing on social
The
media.
thing is too, though, like what you were talking about when the business aspect was is important to any business to know is like the time and effort that it takes to put in there. So that's one of the things that draws me from social media, because like when I did have it, and this is like that's what I did. It's like as soon as I woke up, like I'm checking Instagram, I'm checking Facebook, and I'm not even like paying attention to just life around me.
Life
So
passes you by because you're focused on this device.
yeah, because I mean it's like literally in the palm of your hand. So I mean, so that's another reason why I kind of stepped back from it and just kind of.
Oh, look, Sally ate it Outback tonight. Oh, look at that.
I love the progressive insurance commercials where he's like, the old guy's talking about you're becoming your parents, and
Yeah,
they're talking.
yeah, I love
have you
those
seen
too,
Have you
yeah.
seen the social media one? My man's like the guy sitting there, the guy who's like trying to not become his parent. He's like, well, so what does it mean to slide in somebody's DMs? Because that sounds like a lot of fun. He's like, no, we're not ready for that yet. We're not ready for that.
My wife says that's me.
Slide sliding her DMs all the time?
No, not that part.
oh.
I'm talking about those commercials, the way people dress.
Oh,
and-
you're.
Yeah, she said, that reminds me of you. I said, why is that? She said, you wear shorts with a vest. He's wearing shorts with a vest. I was like, it's not the same, okay?
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Do you guys have a favorite commercial? Like from any point in time. Doesn't have to be something that's on the air right now.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, man, that's
Man,
a good
what a
question.
question.
We need to bring you back and talk about
I have
that.
one.
Let's hear it.
We should have planned this. I could have had
Yes.
them pulled up, and
is true.
My favorite one is the Aflac goat, without question. It wasn't that many years. Yeah.
Are you talking about with the one where Dion comes in? Like
No. The goat says nah to everything. Is this your new marketing guy? Nah. Fantastic. Anyway,
Okay.
that got a lot of traction. Next.
Dana, why were you interested in a marketing career? I mean, did you just grow up thinking, hey, I want to do this, or did it something you just kind of fell into, or?
So like I said, I studied PR and journalism when I was in school. And I initially started out at a PR agency. And I discovered that I didn't love working for the agency. There were certain aspects of it that I did really enjoy. Like I learned that I love copywriting. I love like flexing that creative muscle, building on brand identities. I think that's super, super cool. But there were other aspects that I didn't love. Like my job was not face-to-face with clients a whole lot. And it was also, when I worked there, it was before the pandemic happened. So working from home was not a thing. Like I was in the office every single day.
Yeah.
And I discovered that I do not love sitting at a computer for 9 hours a day. That was super draining to me. So then I ended up working for a startup in Raleigh, and that was a lot more my speed. It was really exciting, very fast paced, and I learned that I am definitely a person who kind of thrives under pressure. I do well when I don't have a lot of downtime to kind of like just like sit back and, you know, look around. I like kind of being go in my career. And then I ended up coming into advertising. Like I said, that was a startup. And now working for a corporation, I have discovered that I do like working for a large organization. That's been really enjoyable to be somewhere working in this field where the company behind me has the tools to actually execute effectively. Is something that's really important.
So you've got a lot of support now that you didn't used to have.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, I remember when I had first come out of college, like if you had told me that I would be working for a really large corporation, like just doing like a corporate girl job, I would have thought that that was so lame. And now I've seen the light.
Now you think it's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
And the paychecks are good too.
Yeah, it's great. And
Right.
yeah, and I'm really lucky to say that I really like where I work and I love the people who I work with, and I have a great manager and a great director in my office and a whole
Brownie
team of people.
points.
I was fixing to say there's a
Yeah.
somebody wants a pay
Everybody in the
raise.
office is going to be watching this podcast.
Yeah.
So,
Let me email this to them
Yeah.
afterward.
She is. I mean, she is in marketing, so
Yeah,
she's marketing
yeah.
herself. I mean, this
Yeah,
is what
exactly.
she does. This is what she does.
But yeah, it's great to work for a place that, you know, in my case, we're a nationwide company. We've worked with clients all over the United States, and to have that repertoire of being able to pull from examples, you know, like if I'm going to say a university and I'm trying to work with them and they're like, well, we want to see your record of success, I can reference other campaigns that have been run all over the country and say, here's what we've done for, you know, so-and-so, yada, yada. And I think that's something that can be hard to get when you're working for, you know, a really small business. But I'm telling you, the startup that I worked for, it really, really helped me cut my teeth. And I absolutely would not trade that experience because I learned so much.
Right.
Yeah.
so what are some things that set you apart from, say, other people that have the same job?
I think for me, there could definitely be a way to make what I do in this role very salesy and very transactional. And I don't enjoy transactional relationships. I really look at what I do as a consultative position. When I'm working with a business owner, you know, I want them to feel that I care about them. I care about their business. It's not just about, selling an advertising product. That's not what it is to me. Because it's not satisfying when you have built a campaign for someone and it doesn't work and the results aren't there and they're unhappy and you're unhappy. And it doesn't matter that I earned any money off of that if the client feels like I failed them.
I guess if we went out and sprayed a house and we didn't get rid of their bugs, no matter what we charged them, we wouldn't feel good about it.
No.
So I see that point. Yeah.
When you see some of your ads like play on TV, or you hear or you see it, whatever, you're like, yeah, that's me. or you're like more modest and like, I wasn't really part of that.
Or are you like, gosh, I really should have shot that from a different angle?
Sometimes that does happen. Sometimes that happens. But I will say, like, I still, to this day, I get really excited when I see a client of mine on TV. Or, like I said, so what we do, it's all very targeted.
Right.
So I don't always see my clients' ads. So when I do see them, like, I have been out at a nail salon before, like getting a pedicure with my mom, and I saw one of my clients' ads on TV in front of me. I was like, oh my gosh, see, I told y'all about the out-of-home viewing, which I'm always telling clients about.
That is true.
But it's so cool to me still to this day when I see their ads out in the real world. It feels very exciting, and to know that you were a part of something like that, it feels really good, especially if it's one that I worked on, like that I helped write ad copy for, which is not always the case. Like I didn't write the ad copy for you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, to me, when we first started talking about doing a commercial, we didn't know what to do. We didn't know who to call, how to get on TV. And somehow we got hooked up with you guys. I don't even know how now. And what people don't realize, if they call you, that's all they have to do. Everything else, you guys take over, you handle it. Tell us about that process. Say you're a new person, just calls you, say, I want to do a TV ad.
How do they get in touch with you?
What do I need to do?
Well, I have a business card, so I'll leave that. Put my email on the screen.
We'll put it up on the. We'll put it on the.
Yeah.
It'll be in the video description there. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, Spectrum Reach in general runs a lot of ads, so you've probably seen those before. You can.
We call them TV commercials. It's funny to me that you call them ads, but I guess that's exactly what they are.
Well, because it's all over the place now. If you see it on social media, do you still call it a commercial?
Oh, she got you there, buddy.
Well, that's a good point. I don't know.
I just call it ads now. It's more of like broad speak.
Yeah.
I realize over time, though, I start picking up on the lingo that gets used in the office. Like sometimes I say spot to people and people are like, spot. They have no idea what I'm talking about unless they've been in media for a long time, too. Like if I said, we need a new spot, do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
Typically what I would call it, yeah.
Well, what is that?
Okay, a spot is a commercial. A spot is...
A spot is pretty much anything, yeah.
And I forget.
Because they a lot of people say that referring to the Super Bowl. Like they get a Super Bowl spot.
Yes.
Yeah. So now I've heard that lingo now.
So you guys turnkey it from everything is what we found out. You guys come out, you done the shoot, you did the graphics, you design. It's just one phone call. You guys take over. Next thing you know, you're on TV.
Yeah, that's the thing. People think it can be so complicated.
It's pretty simple, actually. We were very surprised how simple it was.
Yeah. That's definitely one of the things that makes it so great about working with local businesses, because I experience this a lot, but you go to someone and they think like, okay, well, if I start running like TV ads or social media ads, I'm going to have to find a production company now who can like film this for me. I don't have anything to put up there. I'm going to have to pay for script writing. We handle all of that. And that said too, if you're a business who works with a creative agency already, we don't have to handle your ad. We can just help you distribute it. But for a lot of people, and especially for me, like part of the fun comes from helping them develop that message that they want to get out there. And it's a lot easier than you think it is. You can be, running ads over the span of like a couple of weeks if you were to start today. It's a lot quicker too than people think it can be.
Yeah.
Well, is your service basically for all businesses, or would there be a business that you would say, well, we're probably not for you, or could any business and all businesses use your service?
I've only run into a couple of circumstances where I didn't feel like something was really the right fit. But generally, everyone kind of needs to advertise, even if you're working in B2B. Like, there's something that makes sense for you.
That's what I would think.
Yeah, and the way that I look at it is TV doesn't make sense for everybody. Search makes sense most of the time for most businesses, but not for everybody. So there are different aspects, and that's why everything that you do when you're working on an ad campaign, it should very much be tailored to what you need, and nothing is ever a one size fits all. What works for this business isn't necessarily going to work for you. Your approach, your tactics, these strategies that you go with, they should be very customized to your own business and what you do. But I would say, like, by and large, like, most businesses should be advertising, doing some kind of advertising, getting their name out there in some way.
Yeah.
You need to maintain relevancy. It's really important.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to take a quick break.
Speaking of advertising, we're going to watch another one. We're going to put a spot up right now.
A spot. Yeah, there you go. We're going to call it a spot. We're going to be back, though, when we come back, Diane. This has been awesome. The information that you've given us has been awesome, but we got rapid fire questions for you.
Yes.
And I got one to add. Actually, two to add to that.
Awesome.
Oh, wow. and we got to get...
We got to get some quick picks
We got to get some quick football picks in. We got a lot to still do on this podcast, and we have to... Alan, you're the only one that gave us her question, the answer, best commercial. We have to give that. I got to get yours. Got to get yours and get mine.
This will take a while.
I mean, we still got a lot to do, so we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
They're everywhere. Your yard, your kitchen, your bedroom. Invading your home and property, spreading disease, and destroying everything in their path. If you don't act, they'll multiply, crawling ever closer to you and your family. The only thing they fear is the web. Nelon-Cole Termite and Pest Control. Call today for their new service special and save $25. Bugs, beware of the web.
And we're back in our last segment. We got a lot of cover here in our last segment. We got rapid fire. We got best commercial. We got football picks. There's still a lot to get going on this last segment of our podcast. It's been one of the longest podcasts that we've had so far, Diana. So congratulations on that. But I think it's been very entertaining, very informative.
Yes.
I think it's been awesome. Did you have any more scary movies? Because we kind of cut you off at Pet Cemetery. Did you have any more?
I think we hit all the important ones.
That's okay.
She had them written down.
She did have them written down.
I did.
Which is awesome. All right, Bart. This is Bart's favorite segment because he is.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, he comes up with the rapid fire questions and we kind of chime in here and there.
Please let liver mush be part of this, please.
I don't think he has one on there about liver mush, but this is Bart's favorite segment, so he's going to ask you a question and you just answer.
Favorite drink: Sprite, 7-Up, or Sierra Mist?
Oh, Sprite.
Sprite.
Those are not good sodas.
Wow, she didn't like any of them. All right, favorite drink that you're just going to drink no matter what.
Which one would you rather order? Chicken Alfredo or chicken Parmesan?
Chicken Alfredo.
Red wine or Moscato?
Red wine.
Ideal honeymoon destination: Cancun or Niagara Falls?
Cancun.
Doesn't matter now, she's not engaged.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Better Halloween candy: Airheads or Smarties?
Oh, that's no question. You got to get this.
Airheads,
Airhead.
yes. What is your favorite? So my favorite candy is Twix.
Twix? I thought it was a Reese
Well,
Cup.
besides Reese Cups, like Reese Cups and Twix, that's one of my favorite Halloween candies.
Right Twix or left Twix?
I gotta go right every time.
I like the commercial about the bear on the Twix.
Oh,
when they're saying
that's
they're
a
both
great
crunchy,
one.
chewing, delicious.
Yes.
And the bear's looking at the two hikers sitting on the wall.
That's a good
That's
one.
a really good one.
Do you like Twix?
I do love Twix. I like any candy that's chocolate. I really don't like candy at all unless there's chocolate involved.
Get out
Okay,
of
so
this room.
If you put like a bowl of Smarties and a bowl of Airheads in front of me, like I'm really not touching them.
No
Gotcha.
candy.
Do you like Reese Cups?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Which would you rather prefer as a pet, a bird or a goldfish?
Goldfish.
Goldfish. Is it, if you get a parrot, they can live like 80 years.
Yeah, too much
you're
maintenance.
That's
Parrot
way too long.
Yeah,
for
too
me.
much maintenance. Too much
I
maintenance.
can't handle the pressure.
Who would you rather go out on a date with, Brad Pitt or The Rock?
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
Classic.
Pitt.
Legends of the Fall, Brad Pitt, or Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Brad Pitt?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, actually, I watched Ocean's 11 for the first time recently, and I would like to go out with that, Brad Pitt, please. Thank
You
you.
notice he's always eating something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bullet Train, he didn't look that great in.
No.
Bullet Train, though.
Bullet
but,
Train.
That was the one where they were like killing a lot of people
That's
on the train,
the
right?
new one.
Yeah, exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
He looks amazing for how old he is.
He does. He does
Honestly,
look
The
good.
Rock also looks amazing though. But I have
Who
to
is
go
your
Brad
biggest
Pitt.
Hollywood crush?
Oh, my biggest Hollywood
Oh, that's a
crush?
question for everybody.
Ooh, actually, oh my gosh, who would it be? Who would it be? Growing up as a kid, it was definitely Leonardo DiCaprio.
Really?
Leonardo.
Yeah,
I liked him in The Great Gatsby. I think that was his best movie.
that is a good one. I liked that one.
I liked him in the Titanic.
Titanic was like, when I saw Titanic, I was also in third grade. Third grade was a very formative movie year for
Wow,
me.
it
Both
was.
Child's Play, which ruined my life, Titanic, which
Ruined
brought
your love
new
life.
joys to my life. But yeah, I mean, I remember seeing that movie and just like sobbing.
So do you think there was room on the door for him?
Absolutely.
I stand by the idea that there was really not room on the door if they both wanted to. Like, yeah, he could have propped himself up, but then they both would have been wet.
She
and
lied to Jack. She
dead.
said she would never let go, and she did to save her own life.
And that really
She
tore
let him
me out
go,
of my
all
frame
right.
as a kid.
yeah.
Okay.
Right down to the
You're-
depths.
You're not engaged, but if you did get engaged, what diamond ring shape would you prefer, oval, pear, or square?
This is hilarious.
It's insane.
Making telepathy out there.
yeah.
I like an elongated cushion cut diamond.
What? I don't even know what that is, so we'll go.
Very expensive.
Better movie, Armageddon with Bruce Willis or Men in Black with Will Smith?
I'm gonna go Men in Black.
Men in Black?
Men in Black.
Okay. Who would we more likely to find in your music collection? Celine Dion or Adele?
Oh,
Justin and I have already made predictions
so
on
hard
this.
to
I have.
believe, but it's all coming back to me.
Celine, we both lost.
We both lost.
We picked Adele.
Stop everything. She just belted out Celine Dion.
No,
Well,
pretty good too. Maybe you should have a singing mark.
let's get some more of that.
Yeah,
Do
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Do it right
I mean,
now.
I've got the microphone.
Yeah,
She
you
does.
do.
She just belted Celine
That
Dion.
is it for rapid fire.
No.
Except
Except
has
for
2 more
Alan's
questions.
questions.
Who do you believe killed Buckwheat?
I have no answer. I'm so sorry.
There's a
Okay.
correct answer. This is your pop culture test. Question number 2. Who do you flavor in the Virginia Slims tournament?
What?
I also have no answer. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Alan. I've totally failed you.
So one day we're going to have a
Nothing.
guest who knows those answers. And I'll give the answers right now.
Wait,
just because
do you ask everyone this
No, I'm
question?
going to.
This is the
Okay.
first rapid
Okay.
fire
I'm gonna ask
question he's
everybody.
ever.
First one ever.
The answer to the first question is John David Stutz. John David Stutz killed Buckwheat. It was a Saturday Night Live skit. Eddie Murphy.
Yep.
I don't remember
The
that.
second
learning.
one, the Virginia Slims tournament, is from the movie Top Secret, and the answer is in women's tennis, I always root against the heterosexual.
Billie Jean King.
No, that was the code word between the spies. The one spy says,
gotcha.
"Who do you
Gotcha.
favor?" And then the other one gives that, and that's how they know who's
Gotcha.
who. So one day somebody's going to come in. I'm going to ask those 2 questions, and they're going to know them.
Someone will
They
know.
will get the
Someone will.
prize.
The prize.
I wasn't the girl. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I failed.
I didn't know. You're not
Let me
alone,
just start
Diana.
off with those 2.
You're not alone.
And now she's going to go home and say, John David Stutz. John
Yeah,
David
yeah,
Stutz.
she'll remember that the rest of her life. Now.
All right, so Bart, your favorite commercial is the what'd you say? The Twix.
I like the
bear?
Twix one with the 2
Okay,
bear.
okay.
You know, the bear.
Diana, what's your favorite?
Okay, so there's this Subaru commercial, and it opens with these people, and they seem like they're talking about their dogs. And then it pans out, and there's all these Subarus in a field, like running around. It's like the Subarus are at the dog park, and it just
awesome.
works really well because like the whole thing with Subarus is like they're dog people, and it's a great commercial, and it brings a smile to your face. And
Yeah.
really with any kind of advertisement, you can push any product you want. You can run a branding ad. You can run an ad that's very much about, like what kind of sale you have going on. But ultimately what makes people buy is the emotion that's in the ad. And how does it make someone feel?
Yeah.
And if there's no emotion there, if people feel nothing after watching your ad, then something needs to change.
She's like Troy Polamalu.
I think there's
never
a-
not working.
Never.
Yeah,
not
and I think
working.
there's an irony that of all these commercials, nobody mentioned a single one, as far as I know, that ever played at a Super Bowl. And they pay so much
So much
money.
money.
for
That's
those.
true. That's
I have
true.
a Super Bowl one too that I also really love.
What is it?
and it's the "Is Pepsi Okay" commercial. I think that was from a couple years ago. It had Cardi B, Steve Carell.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one. And for the people who have no idea what we're talking about, they're all at a diner and they go to order. Someone tries to order a Coke and the waitress says, "Is Pepsi okay?" And Steve Carell stands up. He's like, "Is Pepsi okay? Is Pepsi okay?"
Yeah.
Is like, are all of these other things okay? And the moral of the story is that Pepsi is not just okay, it's fantastic.
It's fantastic.
And that's a really good ad. That was a
Growing
super
up,
one.
Alan, you'll remember this one.
What's that mean?
beef? Where's the beef?
The weird thing is, I started to actually say that one, but then I thought nobody's going to know that.
Yep. Where's the beef?
Now here's
I know
your
what you're
question.
talking about.
Do you remember the name of the old lady who said that line?
I do
because
not.
I do. Her name was Clara Peller.
Okay.
I have no idea what value that is, but nevertheless, her name was Clara.
But that was like the best
Useless.
commercial for 5 years in a row. I mean, the where's the beef?
I mean,
Useless
that had to
information.
have- that had to have made Wendy's.
Yep.
Useless information.
No, if you haven't seen it, look it up because it still holds up.
I mean, I
for
was
what
in
it
elementary school when that commercial came out.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like 7, 8, 9, 10 years old.
As was I. Oh, how
Yeah.
old are you, Bart?
51.
52. So yeah.
Yep.
Well, we're just telling everybody's ages now. Wait, like we're getting that
Go ahead,
personal on this podcast.
I don't know.
I mean, my goodness,
We won't ask Diana her age.
Thanks, guys.
That's improper.
it is. It is. Never ask a woman her age or her weight.
Probably a good rule.
No. You always ask them their weight. You always
I'm
judge
not
a
gonna
woman.
ask you how old
that's
you are,
right.
but how much do you weigh?
Yeah.
I made a mistake one time. I was at a house, and the lady, she had a nursery and everything. Okay,
A nursery.
She did, and I asked how far along she was, and she says, "I'm not pregnant."
Well, no, wait a minute. Why
Was
the nursery?
that awkward?
It was very awkward, considering
Yeah.
that I hadn't even started the service yet.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. All
Yeah.
those clients.
I'll start
Yeah.
on the outside.
Matter of fact, this is going to be outside only. I'm going to discount your price.
Yeah. Like, let me just do this for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, she could
But
have been
wait.
messing with you too.
So, was it like a grandkid?
Well, she probably had a baby. She just wasn't pregnant.
yeah,
Yeah.
she just looked pregnant.
She's,
Oh, I
She
totally
hadn't
missed
lost
the
the
whole
baby
point of
weight.
that.
yeah, so the baby wasn't there at the time, so I didn't see the baby. So I just
Justin,
like, yeah,
you, my friend, are damned.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, definitely a question you should never, ever
Never
ever
ask, even if you know, like without a doubt, like that person's pregnant, and you know the due date and everything. Like, still stay away from that.
Yeah.
Stay away from that.
Dude, that's harsh.
It was bad. I felt so terrible.
That's
As you should.
As I thanks, Diana.
To be honest.
That's harsh.
That poor girl.
I know. Life ruined because of me. Football picks. You ready?
Let's go.
Diana, are you ready?
That
I'm
is
ready,
ready.
actually. Can I pull up?
What is happening
Oh no,
here?
you cannot.
Wait a minute now. This is the most prepared picker we've had.
I know.
Wait a minute. I'm not Googling my picks. I'm just
And he says this week he's even got point spreads.
I do have point spreads, and I always like to throw this notion out here. I do it every show, and I'll look into the camera like, please do not take our advice and bet on these games like that we pick, unless you're willing
Because
to lose
we've
money.
picked the Beavers to get pounded every game, and they've won, and they've won every
They have.
game.
They
They're
have.
6-1.
It's unbelievable. All right, so y'all let me know when you're ready. Diana, are you ready? I mean, you're I don't know what you're doing here.
I don't know, but she is like.
I guess what it ended up coming
down.
down to is I was like, oh, I know some of the games that are supposed to be good games this week, but I could not tell you which team I'm
Okay.
favoring.
All right,
Sorry.
so here we go.
Hang in
She's
there,
like doing-
folks.
she's
Really
like doing all the
Hang in there,
research.
folks. We're almost at the end.
We're almost there. Please stick with us. Please stick with us. All right, first game. One of the biggest games of the season, in the biggest game of the day.
Yep.
Penn State, Ohio State playing at the Shoe, playing at Ohio State. Point spread, Ohio State's favored by 4.5. Both of them 6-0. You got number 7 against number 3. Bart, who you got?
Ohio State, and they cover.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Allen.
I'm just picking a winner straight up Ohio State. I'm not touching that spread.
Yeah, I don't. Diana.
I would also agree. Ohio.
I'm going with the upset Nittany Lions, Penn
That
State.
wouldn't surprise me.
I would go with the Nittany Lions if they were playing at home, but not on the road.
Now, do you guys keep a record of your picks? Like, are we
Yeah,
betting anything
we won't talk
here?
about it.
It's not good.
It's not
We won't
good
talk
so
about
far.
it. I'm like 3-20.
We
You're
would be
better than that.
Vegas'
What?
best friends.
We would be.
Yeah.
What?
So we actually did one of these in my office. We had an NFL bracket and a college football bracket.
Are you about to
And
brag
by
right now?
some miracle, I hung on to that thing. I was one of the last people left, and every week I would just start the week by Googling, okay, who's supposed to win this? And I truly,
That's what she
every
was doing.
week
She was
just-
asking ChatGPT. She was asking AI.
AI.
Yeah.
Every week I was just like, all right, who's looking good? And it kept me on a little for a while. I did not win though.
We're gonna get
unfortunately.
slaughtered
I
in
did get
this.
kicked out.
UCF at number 6, Oklahoma. Spread. What kind of noise was that, Alan?
Nah.
Spread is 17.5, Oklahoma.
They'll cover that and they'll win.
Alan,
I'm not picking spreads. Just Oklahoma to win.
Oklahoma.
I'm going Oklahoma as well. We got number 22, surprise here, Air Force against Navy, little military game going on CBS. Air Force is number 22. They're 6-0, playing Navy 3-3. Who you got? Playing at home. Navy's at home.
It wouldn't surprise me to see Navy win it, but I'm going to go with Air Force slightly.
Alan?
I'm with Bart. This seems like a trick, almost like a trap game. But I'm gonna go with. I'll play the odds and stick with Air Force too.
I'm going to choose Air Force because I have a cousin in the Air Force.
Oh, well, there
You
you go.
sound like Lorcan now.
Yeah.
Oh, but I do have an uncle who's formerly in the Navy
Ooh.
too.
Oh, now what you gonna do?
Now it's trouble.
Air Force was
Air
mine.
Force.
That was my gut reaction.
So
I'll
I
stick
got to
with
go
that.
Navy because my brother's in the Navy. So we're going to go Navy. They're a 10.5 dog. So that's brutal. So I'm probably going to stick with my losing streak. Washington State at Oregon.
Washington State at Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon had every chance to win last week.
Should have won.
They'll bounce back this week, and Washington State hasn't looked good in a couple games, so I'm going Oregon.
Yes, Oregon.
Washington.
Wow. She
Feeling
is,
crazy.
she is feeling crazy. That's a 20-point dog that she just picked.
Well,
I've got nothing to lose.
You do not.
they're
just
not a
pick 'em to
bad
cover.
team.
Yeah, so I'm going to go Ducks as well. The biggest game from my weekend, because I'm a big Tennessee Vol fan, Tennessee at Alabama. Does Bama get revenge from last year?
Tennessee at Bama. Tennessee looked really good last week. That was a quality win against A&M. Bama still can't put points up. If Tennessee comes out and scores 31 points, they win this game. But I can't pick them on the road.
Wow.
I will. I'll pick orange.
Thank you. Can I get my light to turn orange for this? Get that orange. Diana, who you picking?
Let's
I'll
see
go
here.
Alabama.
Wow. I thought I liked you. Alabama is a 9.5 point favorite, actually. So, but I am going, obviously, Tennessee. Tennessee all the way. I think they win by. I think they even beat Alabama by 10. Honestly, South Carolina at Missouri.
Missouri, not even close.
Alan,
Well, I managed to change Bart's to orange, so I hit the wrong light. Sorry.
That's okay.
unbelievable.
Let's see if I can give him a purple here or something. We'll go Duke blue.
Missouri, South Carolina. Alan, who you got?
It's Gamecocks.
Okay.
I'm going to go South Carolina.
That'd be a major
If
upset.
That
you
would-
tune in,
Oh.
Nelon-Cole is in that game.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Whoa.
Because
Awesome.
SEC
What
Network.
games are we in this weekend?
If you give me a minute, I can tell you.
We'll let her pull that up. We'll keep picking games. North Texas at Tulane.
What?
Golly.
Tulane's number 23 in the nation.
Yeah, the green wave, I think they'll keep on waving.
I'm going Tulane as well. Alan,
Yeah, I'll go Ashbrook. I mean, yeah, Greenwood. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tulane. Yeah.
nice little call out there to our Gaston County people. Diana, are you going to Tulane or North Texas?
She's totally cheating.
No,
I'm going Tulane.
She's looking at what
Tulane.
games we're in.
Good. All right, Minnesota at Iowa.
You know, Iowa has been the ugliest one-loss team in the America.
They always are.
But Minnesota can't win against.
can't.
That's going to be a 9-3 game, but
Terrible.
Iowa will win it.
I think since Hawks eat gophers, I'm going with the Hawks.
That's good.
That's the best reasoning I can come up with on that one.
That's good analysis. I like it. I'm going Hawkeyes as well. Diana?
Hawkeyes.
Nice. Texas at Houston. Texas at Houston. Who you got?
Houston just come off a game they should have lost against West Virginia on a late score. Texas just got beat pretty good by Oklahoma, but I think Texas will beat Houston.
Alan?
I'm going hook 'em horns.
Diana?
Horns.
Good.
Horns.
Good call.
Horns.
Good call there.
She
Hook 'em
just pulled
horns.
that out there.
I was about to say, please do not say Houston. She was like looking like she's going to say Houston. All right, Texas for sure. Virginia at North Carolina.
Oh, man.
That's not even close.
This is blowout easy.
Yeah, blowout.
Everybody going Heels, North Carolina?
Heels, yeah.
Yeah. Ole Miss at Auburn.
I'm going Ole Miss. Auburn they don't have a team this year.
Same, yeah.
I'll also agree. Y'all are in that game.
Another game that we're in.
Awesome.
I'm going to go Ole Miss as well. Michigan at Michigan State.
Wow. If Michigan has a hiccup, this could be it because of the rivalry. But they won't.
Yeah.
Michigan.
Where's it at?
At Michigan State.
Hey.
That's what I say. If they had a hiccup in their schedule, this could be it.
I'm still not picking against the Wolverines.
I'm not
That
either.
was my favorite team growing up. I can't stand them now, but yeah.
Okay, let me just so y'all don't think there's any upset possible here. They're playing at Michigan State. And Michigan's number 2 in the nation. They're 24-point favorite.
Right.
So
I wouldn't go with that spread.
Now, I don't think they covered that. Now, the Ohio State, when they play at the end of the year, that could be straight up. I mean, they could lose that one. But if there is a potential upset on the schedule, just because it's a rivalry,
yeah,
they turn the ball over 2 or 3 times, Michigan State possibly could upset them.
yeah. I'm going to go Michigan, Diana.
I'll go Michigan as well.
Michigan.
That seems like the thing to do.
It is the right thing to do.
That was an easy one.
Right thing to do. Duke at Florida State. Another pretty big game.
Hey.
Are we on this game?
Y'all are not in that game.
If Riley's not playing Florida State, if Riley plays, still probably Florida State, but it could be a lot closer.
Yeah. Alan?
I'm going against the grain here. I'm going to go Devils.
Nice. Good pick.
I have to pull for North Carolina always, so Duke.
Duke it is.
Duke. I'm going to go Duke as well. I'm going to go Duke with the upset.
What? 3 against
I am.
1.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Florida State's favored by 14.5, so that's a big upset if they are able to pull it off in Tallahassee. Army at LSU.
LSU, just too much firepower.
Yeah.
I'm going Army because my daughter was in the Army.
Good reason. Not good betting material, but good reason to pick them.
Airborne, hoo-ha, or whatever that stuff is.
LSU.
I'm going LSU as well. Utah at USC. Utah's beat them the last 2 years.
Yeah.
3 times, actually.
Yeah.
In the last 2 years.
Utah's been playing like Fido's tail. I got to go USC, even though they looked like Fido's tail last week.
What does that mean?
It means like crap.
But what is
Yes.
Fido's tail?
It's a dog's tail, bro.
It's
know.
a dog's butt.
Like, do you want to play like that?
I'm not talking about like his tail that wags. I'm talking about his butt.
You know what comes out of that? That's why you don't want to play like that.
Well, I have to say, when my dog does that, she's got perfect technique. I mean, she can pinch it off, and it's just
Incredible performance.
yes.
This is truly integrated into.
I do have to say, I love a good saying, and I do keep a running list in my phone of like funny little sayings, and we have so many of them because we're in the South too.
Yes, we
but
do, actually.
That's one that's I'm gonna have
Smoke
to
off
add.
a dog's turd.
I'm going to be on you like white on rice. Wait, hold on, wait.
What is happening?
I thought she was going to give us some of her
Yeah, I thought
favorites.
you were
going to give us
Yeah.
Okay, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Don't piss in the wind and tell me it's raining.
I thought it was spit in the wind, but that's so much better.
That is so much better. I'm never saying spit in the wind anymore.
We've said piss like 15 times on the podcast tonight. That's been our dirtiest word we've ever said.
Dirtiest.
On the podcast.
Okay, we'll switch it up. Another variation of that same one is don't pee on my boots and tell me it's raining.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I mean, it's okay to say piss. You're fine.
Okay, let's do another one. If we're getting into
Let's do another one.
the dirty section of the show.
Oh my God.
No, not really.
After hours.
The bleep button here.
But okay, so something's pissing you off in this scenario. Sorry again.
Yeah, it's all good.
You know what really burns my ass?
What?
A candle about 3 feet high. And then, okay, well, this is what's really pissing me off lately.
I love it.
That's it, folks. We're out.
No, we're not. We're not.
I just thought Lorcan was going to be our best guest.
You thought wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
You thought wrong. I've never heard that before.
I haven't either, but it's pretty good.
Lorcan is watching this and loving it. Yeah.
Oh, we
Make
need
it this far.
to have Lorcan on with Diana and just have all out.
There is vodka in these water bottles.
There really is. There really is. Back to the football picks. Wait, do you have any more?
Oh, I got loads.
I just think it all went off the rails when
He's got loads of them.
Bart started talking about his dog's perfect
Y'all keep going. I'll
poop
see if I can
technique.
find
Oh yeah, we're gonna pick the final 2 games and we're gonna get more of her. Oh my gosh, I love it. Arizona State at Washington. Big win for Washington last week.
It was.
Huge.
And they'll get another one.
Yeah.
But Arizona State's playing pretty good.
They're 1-5.
Well, they're improving.
It's been a lot of close games, man.
Is it like the Panthers?
Speaking of the Panthers,
just a turnover here and there, it would be 5-0.
I told Diana when we started advertising the football stuff, I said, let's make sure we do college too. I said, because I know what the Panthers record is going to be like at the beginning of the year. I said, nobody's going to be watching after halfway through the season.
Nobody.
Oh my gosh.
Alan, who you got?
I'm going with Bart. I have no idea why. Just that whole dog pooping comment. I'm on his side.
Diana, who
I
you
will
got?
follow him into battle.
Do you remember the game?
No. I'm
Arizona
sorry.
State at Washington.
I'm going to go Arizona.
They're 1-5. They're 1-5.
Let her take it. It's a good
Which
one.
brings me to another great saying. Kind of dumb moment. You could hear the wind whistling through her ears.
Oh yeah. That is a good one. That is a good one.
Touching me at the same time. They're 1-5.
I know. We just said it. Last
getting late,
game.
guys.
Well, we got 2 more games. 2 more games because we got to get App State in here, obviously. Number 25, UCLA at Stanford.
UCLA at Stanford. I'm going UCLA.
Stanford's got suck written all over him. I'm going with
man.
UCLA as well.
I am going UCLA.
I'll go UCLA as well.
So everybody.
Sounds like we're all going
sorry.
UCLA with that one.
Yeah, everybody's going UCLA. All right, Appalachian State plays Old Dominion. Both are 3-3. This is weird. They're playing on NFL Network this week
Yeah.
at 7.
Is that a Thursday night game?
No, it's Saturday.
Oh.
Yeah, Saturday at 7. App is actually favored 6.5. Who you going?
Yeah, I'll take App. My sister graduated from App.
I've been to App. Not as a student, but I've been there, so I'll pick them.
Rolling ears.
Yeah, obviously you're going with your alma mater.
Absolutely.
I've been to App too, not as a student. I graduated from Gardner Webb, but I was there for a wrestling camp, so I'll go.
Did you learn the figure 4?
I did. So I'll go App as well. So what games can we catch Nelon-Cole in this week?
They are in South Carolina versus, who was it? Missouri?
Missouri, yeah.
Missouri, that one. Ole Miss versus Auburn. And who was the last one?
Was it the
Didn't write
Michigan?
down.
No.
Throw some games at me. I'll try to remember.
There was another one, she said.
The Beavers are
Yeah.
off this week, so they don't have to take a pounding.
I'm blanking on the third one.
It's all good.
You want to
got-
go through that list of 20 games again?
No,
I'll tell you which
do
one it
not,
was.
No,
We
we're
got
good.
time. We're not like
We
2
do have
hours
time.
yet.
This
This
is
is like the
That'll be
longest-
really interesting for the people listening.
Yeah. Do you have any more lines?
Give us a one-liner.
Like,
You gotta close on like a really good one.
you got any your mama jokes?
When I was a kid, there was one that I told my dad, and he just thought it was like the funniest thing ever. But I was like, "Yo, mama thinks you are so ugly that she has to feed you from the corner with a slingshot."
Wow. That's terrible.
Have to tie a pork chop around your neck to get the dog,
Dog to play with you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that sounds like the old Rodney Dangerfield joke of, my mother never breastfed me. She said she liked me as a friend.
That is,
No respect.
oh, man.
Starting
man.
to feel like I can't share this one on LinkedIn. That ship sailed.
Is it gone? Is it gone?
I think it might be.
Is it gone? No more branding points for a manager
Oh, my
now.
gosh.
It's over. It's over. This has been a blast. Like
Yeah,
I've
this has
had,
been great.
this has been
Holy
awesome.
moly.
It's been it's literally been the longest podcast we've shot thus far. So, congratulations on that.
Yeah, you've kept it interesting for sure.
Oh,
Definitely.
Thanks, guys.
We enjoyed it.
Nice,
fun.
great information. I think we all should end the podcast by telling one your mama joke. I think so. Bart, go.
I saw your mama walking down the road the other day kicking a can. I said, "What you doing?" She said, "Moving."
Alan,
I don't have one.
you gotta have one. We're coming back to you.
I was gonna say I'm sitting this one out, y'all.
Oh, she's sitting it out. She's sitting it out.
She started it. Now she's sitting it
She's
out.
sitting it out.
I got nothing. Your mama's so fat that you suck.
Your mama's so fat, her high school picture was an aerial photo.
Oh. I got nothing. Your mom, let's see.
Your mama's so fat, she stepped on the scale, and the scale said 1 person at a time, please.
Your mama's so fat, she broke her leg and gravy came out.
Oh God.
Wait. She cut her leg or she broke.
Your mama's so fat, she sat on a rainbow, and
Why would
scales started coming out.
Wait.
Okay, we got to cut.
No, we don't have to
Come
cut.
out when you break a leg. Wouldn't it be like if you lost a leg?
Oh, man.
This has
Your
been
mama-
another razor sharp edition of
Your mama's so fat, her belt size the equator. I'm pulling out all the 5th grade lines.
Oh God.
It has been awesome. This is it. This is how we're going to end the show. We're just going to end it like that. Dianna, thank you so much for coming in. I
Thank
hope
you guys for
Thank
having
you.
me.
This has
It
been
was so much
awesome.
fun.
Yeah, I hope you had a blast
I
as much as we
did.
did.
Till the last 10 minutes.
Things really took a turn.
Yeah, she said that this could not be showing her a LinkedIn
That
account now.
usually happens early in the segment. Things take a real quick turn.
Once Bart made that comment about a perfect taper, it just went off the rails.
She don't even need toilet paper. I mean, it's amazing.
Not many dogs do. This has been Mind Your Business Podcast. I hope you loved it. We loved it. We love bringing it to you. Dianna, thanks again. We will be back with our next episode coming soon, so be on the lookout for that. And the next guest, we hope you had a blast like we did. Whenever you're watching this, morning, good night, twilight, doesn't matter. However you're watching this, I hope you've been entertained. I'm trying to end the show, Alan. Let me end the show.
Twilight.
I don't know. Let me end the show, Alan. Have a great night. We'll see you next time. See ya.